A humid summer breeze kissed her tanned cheek, carrying the smells of cedar and fresh-cut grass. She breathed it in. Charlie hadn't seen her father in 3 years. The loose gravel crunched under her boots. Up ahead, the doorknob rattled and the front door swung wide. She braced herself for her father's face, not sure what she'd see in his eyes. He had company, instead, letting themselves out. 2 men she didn't recognize. Not locals. Boston men with scornful eyes and jackets too heavy for the summer wind. One wore a knit cap, and his red and puffy face bore a hairline scar along the stubble of his jaw. He was built like a steel piston, short and squat and hard. His partner was all gristle, tall and lumpy, like life had chewed on him for a while before spitting him back out again. The man with the scar stared Charlie up and down, lingering longer than he had to. "Ma'am," he politely said, only meeting her eyes in passing. The other didn't say a thing, ghosting past her on the way to their car. They'd parked at the driveway's edge, arriving in a sleek black Mercedes E-Class. They left the same way. Charlie watched them drive off, her brow furrowed until their car was a purring phantom on the dirt road's horizon. She turned back to the house. Her father's ranch house was a mirror of the man who lived inside. It had been new once, young, proud. Now the weathered eaves were sagging, stoop-shouldered, and the ivory plastic siding had faded to dirty gray. The only other car in the driveway was her dad's beater, a '93 Ford pickup with an Easter egg pastel paint job and a back bumper held on by spools of knotted twine. She studied the truck. She studied the house. She stalled until she couldn't pretend she wasn't stalling. Charlie rang the bell. No answer, but she could hear footsteps shuffling around inside and the muffled blare of the television set. She pushed the button again. The door groaned open. "I told you people," the man behind the door snapped. Then he saw her face and froze like a kid caught stealing from a cookie jar. "Oh, Charlie." "Hey, Dad." It had been 3 years since her last visit stateside, but it felt more like 30. Her father had a greasy paunch, sunken eyes, a head with more brow wrinkles than hair. He squinted at her like he'd just woken up and wasn't sure if he was still dreaming. "Didn't know you were on leave." She turned her ankle, boot toe rubbing on the welcome mat. I'm not. I'm out." Out? For good?" She lifted one hand in an awkward wave. "Charlene McCabe, newly minted civilian." He fell silent, not sure what to say to that. Then, "How long are you going to be around this time?" "Just a few days," she said, "while I get my feet back under me. Look, I don't want to impose. I mean, I can go to a motel." He stepped aside and nodded her in. "Guest room's still yours." He shut the door behind her, sealing her in the dusty mustiness of the ranch house's living room. She could barely see the space for all the ghosts. There was the line of pictures on the flagstone mantel, vacation photos of her father, her mother, one smiling and still breathing family. Another picture of her mother, framed in an oval of brass, stood propped up on the end table next to her dad's recliner chair. Dad kept the drapes half-pulled and the lights down low, abandoning the day's potential for a tired, empty twilight. "Who were those men?" she asked. He sagged into his recliner. He had a tremor in his hand as he scooped up an open can of Bud Light. "Salesman," he said. "What were they selling?" "Dunno," he said. "I wasn't buying." She let the lie drift to the floor between them, where it nestled on the shabby rug, untouched.